because COSATU, as we know it today, Mr. Naidoo, it is almost a shell, some would say, although I'll probably be very, I'll be attacked for this statement, but some people have really argued that COSATU is a former image of itself. If anything, it's actually been reduced to a labor desk of the ANC. What difference should this new federation do from the mistakes of COSATU?
Well, I've been around for a long time, and as you said, 32 years ago, I was at the founding Congress of COSATU. COSATU took us 4 years of very painstaking negotiations to come to a meeting. And if I look at the conversations here, there is no in principle dispute about an election of leadership. And I think it's a robust environment. And so compared to what we experienced in 1985, surrounded by police ready to attack us under a state of emergency, with the entire state apparatus standing against us, I think things have gone pretty smoothly here. So I think just to put that in perspective, it will be resolved. The issue is, of course, there are unions that are much bigger than other unions. Everyone has to find a voice, and that's why my advice to them, when elephants fight, the grass suffers. So the elephants must learn that there are big elephants and small elephants, and they need to learn how to work together. And so I think that's it. With COSATU, I think we must expect, it's like the ANC, it's like every institution we have. There's a time when the purpose is true, when the cause is clear, it's black and white, and we aim to build the country of our dreams. Now, organizations will come and go. The working class remains the same, and when an organization reaches a point where it does not reflect the aspirations, the hopes, the dreams of its constituencies, then workers or students or citizens will choose another organization that talks more directly to the issues. That's what's happening in this country. We're going through a transition. We're going through the butterfly coming out of its cocoon, and it will fly in the direction that it chooses to fly.
I want to ask you two quick questions in the interest of time, Mr. Naidoo. One of those is that the leaders that are here and possibly are going to be elected into the leadership of this new federation, they come from the COSATU background, and a COSATU that is in alliance with the ANC, and some of the reasons that saw NUMSA being chucked out of COSATU, the likes of Xoli Mngambi being chucked out of COSATU, is that they had become too critical of the governing party. So the question really is, should this federation align itself to a political party, or should it be apolitical and simply concern itself with issues that affect workers?
Well, I hope it won't be apolitical. We need organizations, whether it's student, youth, women, society, to be political, be very political about what we demand of our leaders. Should it be independent? Absolutely. We must understand context. In the context of a country that had just stepped back from the brink and the precipice of a racial civil war in 1994, we had to anchor that. The alliance was set in motion to be that anchor through a transition into a fully fledged democracy. The second thing is that that alliance was based on a program called the Reconstruction Development Program. That was killed in 1996 when it was closed down and replaced by GEAR. I think today we're a mature democracy. I think what is needed more than anything else is strong countervailing organizations. Organizations representing people that keep politicians in check, or keep business in check, or keep the leadership even of civil society in check. And I think we live in a time where increasingly politics has been captured. It's money that determines the political outcome. And we end up as people as pure election fodder. That is why young people are losing interest in voting, in registering or participating in elections.
Quick final question, we are out of time. The 76% of workers that are not organized in this country, that don't belong to unions in this country, how does a federation, a new one like this, get those workers on board, given what you've just said in your speech, that we are in a century of a technological revolution? How easy is it going to be for them to organize?
Well, we have to rethink the models of organizing. If you look at the world today, it is more connected than ever before. through Twitter, through Facebook, through social media. So people know what is happening in the world. But that very technology is changing the very nature of work. I think we've got to think about new organizing models. We've got to think about new ways of negotiating. Who would we negotiate? Because the workplace is going to change. It will be machines producing much of what we need. We'll have to negotiate with our governments. We'll have to negotiate with ourselves as citizens. And I think what we need to do is focus the Federation on the reality that the nature of work has changed. The models of negotiation are changed. The models of how we manage resources in our country will change. And I think this is an exciting period. The impact of the technological revolution is greater than the industrial revolution and in its own time. Think about the new sectors of music, of creative arts, of culture, the sectors that will grow. We should be entering the age of what we call the golden age, but we have to deal with this thing. The critical cancer in our system is that a small minority of people, the 1%, own more wealth than 99%, and they control this economy. If this control of the economy could be put in the hands of the commons, of the public good, imagine a world without hunger, without unemployment, where our children are guaranteed quality education, quality health, where we don't threaten and endanger the environment so that we preserve this heritage we have for the future generations. Imagine that world.